Hey, this is David with the Acme Kitchen Crate. Want to talk to you about sauciers and saucepans. Here are some of my favorite ones, and also ones just kind of for comparison's sake. When it comes to saucepans and sauciers, I actually really do like a saucier, particularly having one in a small size and a large size. So in the set, I include both a 2-quart and a 3.5 quart in most of my sets here. And the big benefit is when you're doing stuff in the saucier, you've got a lot more ease of being able to kind of stir things and stuff because you have that rounded bottom as opposed to having just a straight flat square base. And so, I tend to find that I like the saucepan for if I'm boiling water and things like that. So I actually have a 4-quart saucepan included in the set that's just mainly used for when I've got, bulk things that I'm making macaroni and cheese, or I got large things where I just need to boil pasta and I want the volume. But otherwise, having that kind of curved sloping sides is really, really nice. So one of the top reviewed pans from America's Test Kitchen is on the sauciers is the Le Creuset. And so this guy is a really nice pan. It's well constructed, and I like that it does have the helper handle. My biggest negative with it is I really am not a fan of polished sides. I'm really big on ease of cleaning and use, and so I really prefer having a brushed pan. Plus, one of the things that was nice is looking at the qualities that they found on the Le Creuset that they really like. I really think the Hestan kind of has all those same qualities for the most part. One of the big things was, the difference in height. This is Demeyere. Demeyere, quality-wise, as far as the construction of the pan, this is absolutely fantastic. The problem is the profile. I really don't like the profile of this pan. I think it's actually problematic. If you notice, it's a lot higher than the Hestan and the Le Creuset is. And so what that means is when you're trying to kind of stir, I have a much more natural angle, and the angle here is pretty much the same. On the Demeyere, to hit the edges, I have to go like almost vertical. It's kind of a weird, awkward angle, which I don't love. And then another thing you might even notice is when I put this pan in here, the profile of it matches the edge of the pan really well. In the Demeyere, it's kind of a more sharp angle, and so I'm actually you can almost see some light coming through. It's not, unless I kind of twist the handle, it's not actually naturally hitting the curve here because it's kind of too abrupt of an angle as opposed to the more even sloping sides. So while the construction quality of the Demeyere is absolutely fantastic, the profile kind of just rules it out. It's not a great saucier at all. This actually really is just kind of more of a rounded saucepan, which fine, but if I want a saucier, I want a saucier. And so that's why these are really going to be the go-to. And then for me, the Hestan is my preferred, just having the brushed sides. Another benefit of the Hestan is they have the flush flat rivets on the inside, and Le Creuset does not. It has these pretty chonky rivets on the inside, so again, not a big fan of that. So I think construction quality wise, the Hestan's a better piece. This is also made in Italy, and it's the same price basically as the Le Creuset. The Le Creuset is kind of a pricier pan, so that's why the Hestan's really kind of my go-to. Interesting thing with this, they actually don't call this a saucier. They call this their everyday pan. And that's really because it is a pan that's multi-purpose. It's something that you can use it as a saucepan, as a saucier. It's good for boiling water and doing pasta, as well as for being able to make a sauce in that same exact pan. So it's really a versatile piece. And then, they do call their saucier in the smaller size. So in the 2-quart, they call it a saucier. But if you notice profile-wise, it's the same profile. They're just kind of playing with the naming a little bit, just so because it is really a more versatile piece. These are definitely going to be my favorite sauciers, is the 2 Hestan pieces. Again, I'll just kind of compare on the little guy, the Hestan versus the Demeyere. And again, you can kind of see, that's my comfort angle for stirring versus, to get that edges, I'm really more like that. And so again, great construction on the Demeyere, but just the actual profile and the shape of it, you're going to be much happier with the Hestan. It's going to give you a really nice wider opening, so it's a lot easier to kind of get to the surface. That's kind of another difference between the Le Creuset and the Hestan, is the Le Creuset is even more rounded, which is nice for stirring, but it does mean you have less surface area on the bottom. So it's a little going to be a little bit less even when it comes to, you know, having that kind of taking advantage of the full heat of a burner, especially if you're on induction. I think you're going to have a little bit more trouble with the Le Creuset than with the Hestan. But the Hestan is still enough of a slope that you're going to get that really good, you know, ability to sweep around the pan. So these are really my kind of go-tos. I think you'll really love them. And then, you know, depending on what it is you're doing, having a mix of, you know, the 2-quart, the 3.5, and then having a saucepan or two is nice, which is why, you know, I like having the 1.5 or even potentially they're even smaller butter warmer. So that way you do have something really small for, you know, just small sauces. And then the 4-quart saucepan is really nice too if you just need a little bit more volume, and kind of gives you that ability. So between the 4 of them, this is kind of my go-to set, is having these 4 sizes. But, you know, depending on what it is you need, you may only need a couple of them, which is really nice with these being sold a la carte. You can kind of just piecemeal the set that you need. But these are kind of my go-to pieces from Hestan. I'll have some links in the description below of where you can buy these. You can also check out more videos talking about the rest of the Acme Home Kitchen Crate and all the different products and how we came about selecting the ones that we did. Same kind of videos like this, where we'll have comparisons talking about the top brands and the pluses and the minuses and why I picked the particular ones I did to go in my set. So take a look at those videos here and then check out the description below for links to buy these. Thank you. See you on the next one.